Your Pets Radio, your go-to destination to learn all about your four-legged companions. Hosted by pet health and longevity expert Lauriston Crockett III. Your Pets Radio is the perfect stop for insightful pet news, the greatest viral videos, and to learn all about the initiatives you should get involved with.
Hey, this is Lauriston Crockett with Your Pets Radio. We've got a show for you today. You need to stay tuned because it is going to happen. I've got Jamey Cantrell, the Director of Animal Services for the city of Plano. It is a fantastic welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
And I also have to my left Jamey Marsh. He is the General Manager of Man's Best Friend and the head trainer and one of the leading trainers in North Texas. So we're very lucky today. You're going to get a lot of great information. So listen, I'll tell you what. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. You're going to want to hear what we're talking about.
The ShotSpot mobile wellness trucks travel the Dallas metro area, providing vaccinations, heartworm testing and prevention, flea and tick prevention, wellness exams, and more for dogs and cats, Thursday through Sunday each week. You can find our schedule of events and the Gift for Life by going to theshotspot.org or follow us on Facebook. ShotSpot, a full-service hospital is located in McKinney, Texas at 1827 West Louisiana Street, or call us at 844-PET-SHOT. That's 844-PET-SHOT.
Hi. Hey, Lauriston, we are here at Canine Cinemas. There's Bear trying to get me. Getting ready to drink a whole bunch of free wine, all you can drink. Of course, at Canine Cinemas, it's all you can drink, free wine, puppies, and movies. We are getting ready to watch the movie Bolt. And next weekend, next Friday, we're going to do a 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 8 o'clock showing. So just checking in with Your Pets Radio. Love you guys.
Hey, we're back. Listen, today's show really means a lot to me because I actually adopted my big boy Max from your shelter in Plano. And I was so lucky to get him. Jamey, did you know that? Because you trained Max.
No, I didn't actually. This is the first I had heard of it. So
we adopted Max, and it was your shelter. It's just amazing. We actually did a tour yesterday, so if we could get some video up, we'd like to talk about what we're walking through here. If you kind of talk us through what we're seeing here.
Well, these are what we're seeing here. This is our cat adoption cages, and so these are the kind of home away from home that we have for the cats while they're waiting for their forever families to come and take them home from us. So these are our dog runs, and our adoption center, we tried to specifically get away from people thinking like doggy jail. We want it to be colorful, a nice place to bring your family.
You had soothing music in there, which I absolutely loved.
We had the music playing. It's colorful. We do what we can to minimize the stress on the animals. That keeps them happier and healthier while they're with us. And our whole goal is for you to be able to bring your entire family down and spend as much time as it takes for you to make the right decision for you.
Right. And and you also had some senior pets there that we wanted to talk about.
Absolutely. I mean, we always have senior pets that are available, and a lot of times it's through no fault of their own. I mentioned one yesterday that their owner had health issues and could no longer care for them. And so you have a 12-year-old dog now who suddenly has to adjust to something that is completely foreign to them. And they're trying to, compete basically with puppies and younger dogs, trying to get that forever home. So it can be really hard on them.
Right. And what I'm excited about is that we're willing to start working with the Gift for Life with your senior pets there in the shelter.
Yeah.
So when you see a senior pet, we're actually going to be putting up a little sticker that please go up there and adopt these senior pets. They're going to be receiving the Gift for Life. We're going to give you more time again. The Gift for Life is very special. We start turning on that adrenal cortex, and they just within 4 days, they start acting like a puppy again. So don't be worried about adopting some of these senior pets. We're very excited, and when you see that sticker up, or please, ask some of the other help there, or reach out and talk to Jamey about it. He'll tell you everything you need to know, and they'll have this technology there. And we're excited to start working with your shelter. You're the first that we get to work with, and we're very excited about that.
We're very excited about it as well. Anything that helps our pets be healthier and happier, we're all in favor of. So
Right. And the other thing that I'd love to hear yesterday, because when you go by shelters, we always worry about dogs being put down, but you guys are actually pulling dogs in from other shelters, so they're not put down. So that's not what you do there.
We are very fortunate to have one of the best animal shelters, I feel like, anywhere. There's no animal shelter that I would trade for ours. We have tremendous amount of people come through our shelter, and because of that, we're able to place all of the happy and healthy animals that we get in. And we also have space available where we can take from other shelters who aren't as fortunate. And that's, I mean, for us, it's about saving lives. I mean, I don't care if they originally came from Plano or if they came from Dallas or Red Oak or some other place like that. If they can end up coming to us and find their forever home, then that's what we want to try to help do. And Fred was actually the one that we looked at. Fred actually came to us from another shelter as well. So,
we got to talk about Fred.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a few minutes when it comes to adoption. I absolutely fell in love with Fred. He's a pit bull, is he not?
He's a pit bull mix, and is just a wonderful dog. Has a great personality, and he's been with us for about 9 months. But with the total time he's been in shelters, it's been over a year now that he's been of his life.
I don't understand about this, because when it comes to Fred, we actually got him out. We played with him, and if I didn't have a 7-year-old son and Max at 101 pounds and 2 cats, I was going to take Fred home with me right then. Just fell in love with this dog, everyone. So please go up there and ask for Fred and take a look at him and just get him in the playroom. And I promise you, you're going to fall in love with this dog. He is absolutely gorgeous. I don't get it. He wants to play with toys. He's all about the toys.
Yes. Yeah, he loves tennis balls, I mean, we saw yesterday, he knows where the toys are kept in those little rooms.
He was nudging you to get off the toy box.
Yeah,
so he could get back in there and get toys.
He would open the toy box with his nose and sniff through and find the one he wanted and pull it out and play with it.
And then he came down and laid right down beside me.
Yeah.
All he wants to be is loved on and stuff like that. So, listen, if you're thinking about adopting, head to the Plano Shelter, because you're going to love the experience. You also have rabbits. What other animals are we?
Right now we have finches that are also there. We're looking for homes for.
Right.
So, some birds. We have guinea pigs. We've had hamsters, ferrets. I mean, any animal that is kept as a pet by a person, at some point or another, it's come to our shelter, and we'll be looking for it. So, it doesn't matter what kind of pet you're looking for. Animal shelters should always be your first choice to go and look to see what you can find, because you can save a life there.
Right. Jamey, have you been over to the shelter yet?
I haven't been to that shelter, but after looking at the videos, I was telling Jamey that I definitely have to get over there. That's it just looks like a great place. I'd had a nicer rug than I have, the zebra rug.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, definitely want to go look at it.
It was super clean, and the way that place is ran, you just should be commended on that. I absolutely didn't want to leave. I was having such a good time. And the new cat area that you built, that you can actually go in there and the cats are up and they're playing. And you can actually, instead of just take him out of a cage and wondering, you can go in there and actually play with him.
Yeah, and they get to live outside of a cage as well. They can do more normal cat things, so they're happier also. So we've really loved our new community cat room. We try to get people to think of, when they come there, of it's kind of a high-end boarding facility is what we're looking for, and it's not doggy jail. It's not the depressing place. Okay. And you come and you find your new next best friend. That's what we want.
And what about people wanting to come up there and help? How do they get involved with you?
We always have volunteer opportunities available. So it doesn't matter what skill you have, we can put you to work. There are some people that physically aren't able to walk the dogs, but maybe they can get in there and they can do cat socialization, or maybe they can help with doing filing and other stuff. So if they just want to feel like they are contributing in some way to help the animals, we can find a job for them. Obviously, the dogs love to get taken outside, and we have volunteers come every day that will take them and put them in our backyards and run and play with them, do everything, and that's great. But if you're not physically capable of doing that, doesn't mean that you can't volunteer for us. We have other jobs available as well.
Fantastic. So listen, everyone, what is the number up there? I guess, do we have it right here on the screen? Yep. We do. 972-769-4360. Give Jamey a call. Get up there and volunteer. Or if you're looking to adopt an animal, you got all kinds up there.
All kinds.
And the senior pets, regular dogs and kitty cats and rabbits and ferrets and you name it, we've got it. Go to the shelter and walk around, and you're going to have a great time. And I tell you people, that you're going to save a life, but really in return, when you bring that animal home, they're going to be saving you back in return. Yeah. And and here's something really special that we have to talk about, because as you guys know, I do a lot of Fox Network radio, and we talk about spaying and neutering and the side effects of spaying and neutering. And everyone knows pretty much how I feel about this. Now, because of the overpopulation of pets, and what did we have last year in the United States? Almost 2 or 3 million pets that were put down, euthanized, when all they wanted was a home and someone to love. That's unacceptable, because we're not doing our part to keep these animals from breeding. So What we've gone to is spaying and neutering. We know that spaying and neutering has side effects. The University of California, Davis has done a really good report on this, and basically in animals only producing 1% of the hormones they did before this elective surgery. There's a lot of shelter heads and other people that don't want to talk to me about this, but you do, because you've had experience in this, and that's why I'm so excited, because hopefully we can start spreading the word. What you said yesterday was absolutely brilliant. So Jamey here has had experience with the famous pet vet, Dr. Danny Cox, and you've actually had experience watching the neutering, the zinc neutering, and we're talking about vasectomies. But let's tell the audience why you said that we're not doing more of this.
Really, it's just a matter of people not knowing enough about it to feel comfortable with it. It's a matter of education. It's a matter of knowing exactly what all it involves and what the differences are.
Right.
And you know, for us, my biggest thing is I don't want any unplanned pregnancies with animals.
I agree.
Because that brings about animals that make up that 2 to 3 million that we were talking about.
And then it compounds, and it compounds.
Exactly. And so, you know, being a responsible breeder means that you are not going to let any unplanned pregnancies happen. And if you have a pet that you know isn't a good quality isn't of good quality, whether physically or mentally, you're not going to breed those animals either. You know, and so that's what really responsible breeders are. They look physically. Does it have all of the things it's supposed to have? Is it in good health? Mentally, does it have a good temperament the way it's supposed to?
Right.
And if it doesn't meet that criteria, they don't breed them. And so having options to sterilize, whether it be, you know, traditional vasectomies or castrations or neutering, I'm in favor of all of them, simply because it helps cut down that 2 to 3 million. Because there are some people that say, I would never castrate my dog, but maybe they would do neutering. And so if that's the case, I'd be in favor of it.
Yeah, the neutering is fantastic, because Officer Brenda Martin of the Wiley Police Department, we just did a video online, and if you go to The Gift for Life on YouTube and you put in zinc neutering, you can actually see how we did it, what happened. This dog was put into a twilight sleep. They're in and they're out of there in 20 minutes. You know, they're sterilized, but they're keeping 50% of the hormones. And we know these life-giving hormones are extremely, extremely important. So, you know, we're kind of in a catch-22. We have to start educating. Everyone says, spay and neuter, spay and neuter. I said, in some cases, yes. But now we've made so much advancements in veterinary medicine, we have other options that we need to think about. And you're one of the first heads that I can say, hey, I love what you're saying, because you understand. And it's all about pet longevity and health. And it's got to be difficult to see what's happening. So,
Yeah.
And he's very correct on just educating. Our clients come in, and it's something that they've heard of, but no one knows anyone who has had or gone a different option. So yeah, definitely education.
If they didn't know the option
I don't
was
think
there.
people. Yeah, I think at least if they know there's another option.
Well, you know, a lot of vets, you know, they were never taught it at vet school.
Right.
So they're comfortable with castration. And so that's what they do. That's what they tell their clients. And that's what becomes really the only option there. And I'm one of those people, I always want to have options available to me,
Sure.
no matter what the situation is. And like I said, not everybody will. I mean, I've had people physically tell me, I won't take my dog back if he's castrated, you know, because that's part of what our ordinances are if
Right.
your pet is running loose. So, you know, and we have to have discussions about that, you know, it's your dog is still your dog, whether he has his testicles or not. You know, he's still your dog.
right.
But if there's some other option available where they wouldn't feel that way, but at the same time they would prevent the unplanned pregnancies, because, you know, like I said, a male dog, if he's intact, if he can smell a female in heat, he's going to escape your yard. You know, that's one of the things. It's nature that's going to take
Sure.
over. That drive is going to take over, and so if we can help prevent that, whether it's neutering or castration, that's what we want, because we don't want those animals running around and reproducing on the streets.
Right, and on the females now, we're leaving the ovaries in. Mm-hmm. And so they're having these life-giving hormones still. So, like I said, as a pet health and longevity expert, this is what we're trying to get to, but it's all about education. But you have started something here today as a director that maybe we can get other people from the SPCA or Operation Kindness or anyone else out there. Let's start talking about this and start educating that, you know what, we have other choices. What's the best choice for the family, that pet, and so it's what we're doing here. Another thing I'd love to talk about real quickly, and then we want to talk about adoption, because we got some great pictures. I want to talk about getting everybody over there. Is one of the best investments I ever made is when I adopted Max and I brought him home. And he's a fantastic dog and he goes everywhere with me. But the best investment, you and I spoke about this, all three of us did, is when I took him to Man's Best Friend, and I left him there for 2 weeks, and I had him trained. Or other options is to come over and just do training. I believe that way too. Do you not agree? Because you said something a while ago, I'd like you to say it again. When somebody does that, trains with their animal, what does that mean?
The likelihood that that's going to be a lifetime commitment to the pet increases dramatically whenever they get the training investment into them. We tell people it's just like if you were to have a child, you're going to get them schooling. You're going to, whether it be public school, private school, whatever, you're going to get them the education that they need. And dogs need to learn what is expected of them as far as their behavior goes.
Who's alpha wolf in the house?
Exactly. And so that's what the training provides, because it makes the dogs happier as well.
Right.
They want to know what the structure is. And unfortunately, too many people don't know that. And then so the dog says, well, then I must be in charge. And that's when we see a lot of really serious behavioral issues. So the training itself, every dog that we adopt out, we tell people we highly recommend you get some sort of training, no matter what it is. Whether it's board and train where they do it for you, or you come and go to classes, just do something so that your dog has a better chance of success in the home with you.
Thank you. Hey guys, we're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk about training.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's almost identical to what we say.
Yeah.
Did you know that by simply giving one dose of the Gift for Life twice daily will assist your pet's own natural defense against progressive aging, hormone loss, joint disease, and prevention of certain cancers? The Gift for Life stimulates your pet's own endocrine system and enhances the small amount of hormones present in the adrenal glands with amazing rejuvenation and anti-aging effects on the cellular level. When we spay or castrate our pets, we lose all but 1% of these life-giving hormones. So it's very important to give your pet the Gift for Life every day to enhance a healthier, happy life. This amazing chewable peptide treat is fast-acting and highly effective. I use it in my practice for all patients that have had these elective surgeries or any pet that is over 8 years old.
Hey guys, we're back, and that is some fantastic information you gave us, and it really means a lot. So I'm going to have to step over here with Jamey, our head dog trainer, general manager of Man's Best Friend, and I have to tell you, and I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again, the best investment I've ever made in my life is when I took Max over to Man's Best Friend, and you guys started working with him. What a life change, and what a bond we have here. Tell us what actually takes place when we're training, because when I dropped him off, I had to drop him off for 2 weeks. We did some heavy training with him, and he's still a great dog, but he was showing that dominant, putting that paw on me all the time, and then wanting me to tell me when he wanted to have affection. So tell us what we're going to do when we bring the dogs over and start training, and then we're going to talk about a special that we're going to be doing with the Plano Animal Shelter about our group training session when you adopt. So anyway, I'm gonna leave the mic with you.
Yeah, no problem. The biggest reason we do the 2-week stay, there's several types of training that you can do. We prefer the 2-week stay because when you take a dog from its home, they're looking for a buddy. We want this to be fun. So
right.
There's a quick attachment, hey buddy, to the trainer. And from that point on, our goal is that they don't think of home. Pretty much like the first time I went to camp. I was a little nervous myself.
Right.
Started having a blast, but if my mom had shown up, halfway through, I probably would have gone home. So when the dogs are away from us, what we're trying to do is get them to a point, teaching the basic commands, heel, sit, down, stay, come, work on a place command, really teaching right from wrong. I was telling Jamey, he pretty much hit the nail on the head with what we try to do with our training in that 2 weeks is get them to a point where they're no longer the main focus. We believe the owner is the harder portion of training, just because we don't quite know what we're doing, and we start to do what we would do as a human.
Okay.
And it's different, but they do want a pattern. They like repetition. They like to spend that time with you. And so we like to say obedience is really teaching language. A way of us communicating.
Well, it is. When I got Max home, he and I trained every day, no matter what. I don't care if it's rain, sleet, or snow. We're outside or we're doing something together. We have that bonding time. But now, we've taken your training, and I can do it 100 yards. I can do hand commands with him. I can put him in a sit. I can drop him right there where he'll hold, and I can call him in. And of course, our bond is like nothing that I've ever experienced with any other pet after the training that you gave.
Yeah, it almost seems like you, after a while, again, once you're able to communicate with your dog, you almost have this visual understanding of each other. And that just gets better and better over time. But what you did is exactly what the hope that any owner would do. It would vary a little bit, but you have to have the time put into your pet, because they're only going to be as good as the time that you put into them.
True.
I can teach them all I want, but I don't live with you.
Right.
I'm not going to be there to make certain that you follow through, and your pet deserves it.
So what stages of training do you have? Like Max and I came in and we did the basic training, and we were going to go into security training, but we decided not to until just recently, and I believe it's time for us to come back.
Yeah, we after the boarding stays, we have you come back for follow-up lessons. And again, that's so we can start transferring that information over to you.
Okay.
Let you go home for a week, work on those things at home, come back. The first part of your follow-up lesson will be, so how's it gone this week? And we've had lessons where we just sit there and talk, because there's times where we're like a psychologist, trying to have you two start to get along. And then we have a couple of different program options that just vary as far as how far you can get with the training. So it's really, every owner has a different, what they're looking for. So if it's only something here specific, you don't have to come in for a
what
ton of
what all kind of training do you do there? What different stages, or what can people actually do if they want to get their dog trained? What kind of training do you offer?
Basic obedience. So again, heel, sit, down, stay, come.
Got that.
The goal is to then, we're actually in the process of adding fly ball, agility, some scent work, just items that we can do to have the owner have something fun to do with their pet. And we just
What about therapy training?
We do therapy training. Right now there's a big confusion between therapy and service dog training. We do not do service dog training.
Okay.
That is a very different thing. So a lot of people think they want a service dog because they want to take a dog to a hospital or a school.
Right.
But really that's a therapy dog. And yes, we do the...
I just want to take him to the mall.
Yeah, exactly. And we can actually do that through the CGC, the AKC Canine Good Citizen. That's something we can teach you and test you on, so that you have a certificate that says, I can take my dog to this mall.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't think a lot of people know that. Can you say that again? Tell us about, how do we get that certificate? What do we do?
Yeah, you first have to, you get your basic CGC, which is your Canine Good Citizen.
Okay.
And honestly, that can be used a lot of places. Might have helped you, like we were talking the other day, when you had
Max and I,
Adam.
okay, I'm going to, all right, you caught me.
I brought it up.
You caught me, and Jamey's here with me, and we follow the rules, but Max and I were trained for off-leash training, and we were out there in the field right down the street from my house in Plano. Love Plano. And one of your officers came pulling up, and even though Max was right beside me, stuff like that, you know what? We broke the rules because I had him, because he was trained this way. We were just doing our off-leash training. But still, again, the city of Plano states that all pets must be on a leash.
Yes. Yes. And that's what, they're very well trained, very well behaved.
Right.
But I can't write exceptions in the law that says, well, if your dog is like this, then it's okay. What we have is people who think, well, my dog's perfectly fine with everyone, let them off leash, and their dog's just terrorizing, running around, jumping on kids at the park, knocking them down, or running up to people who are scared of dogs and terrifying them, and so they don't want to go back to the parks and places like that as well. So we have to really kind of balance that fine line with everything. And
what was your officer? Is it Nick and Jennifer, I believe?
I think it was Nick and Carrie is who
Carrie,
you spoke
okay.
with, yes.
And I told him, I said, listen, I host Your Pets Radio. This is going to make a great story. And they went, well, Mr. Crockett, I said, hey, it's just Lorson. I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing that you guys are here to protect us and also to enforce. And Max and I did it. Thanks for calling me out on that one, Jamey.
It is nice to hear that it's being enforced, though, because everyone hears of it. No one's never.
But they saw that he was trained right there and right there with me, and there wasn't a problem. We ended up being good friends, and they come over to the house, and they've got my citation. But no, seriously.
And hopefully an endorsement for us.
Yeah, absolutely an endorsement. And I told him, hey, he's trained, and they know all about you guys for sure. But still, when you're out there, you got to follow the rules, and the rules are there for a reason.
The rules are there for a reason, and it's not only just for people's safety, it's also for pet safety as well.
Right.
Especially if you have a smaller dog. If he's out running loose, there's wildlife that live in the parks as well, and those little dogs are little snacks.
Your
for them
officers
sometimes,
actually warned me about the coyote issue that we were having, and they're coming through I guess the different creeks in the area and the gutter areas right there. So they're not out there just to say, hey, you can't walk your dog off the leash. They're actually out there giving us some good advice and warning us. And then also, like you said, there was an outbreak of distemper one time, and they're giving us all this information. So they're usually out there to protect us. So I absolutely love your people. They're trained well. and we love being in Plano. Thanks for saying that and getting me in trouble.
You're welcome. I figured why the two of you were sitting here together. That's the time to bring it up.
That is the perfect timing, yes.
But you know what? It's okay, and we were happy that they were actually there, and we know that they're there to support us. They're there to help protect those animals for sure.
It's nice to know that now, if you're in Plano, especially, make sure you have your dog on a leash.
We're on a leash,
It is enforced.
But you guys provide us with so many other good dog parks too.
There are dog parks in places like that where it's appropriate for that, where you can take your pets off leash if you want, and there are more dog parks coming actually in Plano as well.
Oh, fantastic!
More being built, so hopefully the Jack Carter Dog Park won't be as continuing to be as crowded as what it is sometimes now. So they're building at least 2 more to try to help alleviate that somewhat.
Okay, fantastic. And listen, we've got something that we're going to start working on together. We're going to have more information coming your way, that we're going to be working with the Plano Shelter, and we're going to be working with Man's Best Friend, sponsored by the Gift for Life. And that if you go up there and you start adopting these dogs from this shelter, we're going to start having a group practice and lessons over at Man's Best Friend. We're going to get more information coming your way. You can get more information at the shelter. We're going to have it put together probably in the next week. So when you adopt, listen, you're going to get your dog evaluated for free, and also you're going to get 4 free lessons in a group lesson where you can come over and start the dog training and start that bond and everything that we've spoken about today. It's really, really important to do, and I think it's wonderful that Man's Best Friend is stepping up and trying to help, and that we've got the Plano Shelter here working with us too. And please remember also, let's adopt those senior pets. So you want to start talking about some of the pets that we have. We have some pictures. Let's talk about some of the dogs that are up there right now.
Well, Vito, perfect segue right there, because Vito's one of our seniors.
And he's going to start getting the Gift for Life this week.
And you can tell by looking at him, he's aged a little bit there. He's, I think if I remember correctly, Vito's about 12 years old, which he still has a lot of life left in him. You know?
He does, and what we're excited about, we're going to make an announcement right now too, is if you adopt a senior pet at the Plano Shelter, you will receive a year's supply of the Gift for Life, which is also called the Fountain of Youth for Pets. Within just 4 days, we're going to start these animals on it. They will start acting like a puppy. We're going to give them life back again. Start working with their endocrine system, and naturally, it's a gourmet chewable treat. It's so easy to administer. And your senior pet uses the Gift for Life.
He sure does, and it was actually my wife that turned me onto it.
Right.
She's a huge ticket listener. And we have a 15-year-old pit bull named Rusty.
Right.
And, he's lived a long, good life. And we thought it was getting close to the end of that nice, long, good life. And so pretty much any time you walked into the home, you were really, because he couldn't hear you anymore, you were really looking to see, is there still breath in him? But then, again, my wife mentioned the Gift for Life, so we started it. I'd say within 2 weeks, and my wife and I just happened to be talking in conversation and realized, do you realize Rusty is totally different right now than he used to be?
Right.
Used to, he couldn't get up on the couch. Now he makes a running start, jumps up on the couch. He has this just gleam in his eye.
He's got the life back again. He's feeling good. He lives in the moment, sure.
Yeah, we say he acts like a puppy. And so we now have 2 of our other dogs on it. And same results.
Well, ABC News called it the Fountain of Youth, so we said, hey, we'll own that for sure. So every dog, every senior pet, let's get back to Vito real quickly if we can. So every senior dog that you go up there and you can adopt, you're going to get a year's supply of the Gift for Life. I promise you that, and that's going to help you so much. So please do not be afraid to adopt these senior pets. They have so much love to offer, and they have so much to give. What's our next dog that we have?
Doggy Dog there, very
Doggy Dog. Who
very,
named that?
Very unique name there, and he's a great little guy that we have at the shelter. Also, I mean, we some of these animals they're there at the shelter through no fault of their own, and they just a lot of times were lost and out on the streets, and nobody ever came in looking for them, and that goes back to the owner not having the right kind of commitment that we're wanting.
Right.
And a lot of times it's because maybe there is some sort of a behavioral issue or something that they never took the time to try to
we saw about 12
address.
dogs up there that were still being held right now because their owner hasn't found them yet. So if you're missing your pet in the Plano area, please go up to the shelter. They're safe. and I bet you're going to find them right there.
Well, that's what we hope, and we also have an online map you can find on our website where whenever people find a pet, they can report it to us, and we'll put the picture up, and it shows whenever we pick up a pet, it goes up on that map, and it says where we found it, so that way you can see, if you're missing from your pet from this area of town, you can go click on that and say, okay, well, that may be mine, and come down to the shelter and look at it.
Check for a microchip?
Absolutely, and that is. If you're worried about your pet, identification is the number one thing that you can do to protect them. It doesn't matter because that's, whether it's microchip, tags. We recommend both because tags anybody can see and anybody can get on and look at it and say, okay, well, here's the phone number, give it a call. Microchip is always that backup in case they take the collar off for some reason, but that's the number one thing you should do for your pets.
Yeah, and the Shot Spot was actually, reach out to the Shot Spot. They're actually giving free microchipping.
There's no reason not to do it if you can get it for free, especially.
Max has got his for sure. So let's take a look at our next dog. I believe it's Jordy.
Jordy is a great little guy. He has been with us. He next to Fred. He's our longest resident that's been at the shelter.
We got to get Jordy out of there, you guys. Come on.
I mean, you can tell how happy he is just by looking at him. But he is like an Italian Greyhound Chihuahua mix. Has all kinds of fun. He's one of those ones, I don't really know why he hasn't been adopted. He just, for whatever reason, you look at him and you can tell he's a happy little guy.
You know what a great dog. Hey, somebody, let's go up and get Jordy out of there today. And of course, coming up next is my big boy, Fred.
Yeah.
There he is.
Fred is, he came to us from another shelter in the area. They had him for about 4 months, and we're not going to be able to keep him up for adoption anymore. Part of the reason they felt like he didn't get adopted is because he had heartworms. So we brought him into our shelter. We actually treated his heartworms, and we've had him with us for about 8 months now, and just hasn't had the right person come in to give him a chance. But
here's what I don't understand about Fred. When Fred, you brought him into the room with me, that's me there petting with him. You know what? He wanted his toy. He's beautiful. He's loving. He just wants to lay down beside me and play with his toy, and he just wants somebody to love him so we can love him back. I wish I could take him. I would have taken Fred home. So look, if you're looking for a dog, go up there and get Fred out today and the rest of them. But because I have a 7-year-old and Max is 101 pounds and 2 cats that have been adopted also, we just don't have the room. But Fred, and these other animals, especially Fred, let's get him out of there.
We are very hopeful that Fred's going to get out very soon. I mean, you're talking about how he just laid down, was playing with his toys. Yeah. That's a dog that's coming out of being in his run for several hours and having no real interaction. Usually the dogs are so excited, they're jumping all over the place. And we tell people, you're not going to see their true personalities in the shelter. They're going to be more excited because they're getting some attention, and they're so... Dogs are such social animals. I mean, they want that interaction, and they don't get it. We're a temporary home. We're not where the dogs want to be forever. And we like to think we're a very good temporary home, but it's not like when they actually do have their own family. And so you don't really see their true personality at first. A lot of times they're jumping around. He was never really like that. He is a very laid back. He just wants to play with his toys.
He laid down beside me, and he just wants to snuggle up and play with his toy and be loved on. That was great. So let's get Fred out of there. So there he is, guys. Today, someone head to Plano, and let's get Fred out of there, along with Jordy and the other pets also. Who do we have here?
Sissy is another one of our seniors. She's
get the gift for life today.
Gifted. We guess she is approximately about 12 years old. She is a Jack Russell mix and is a very intelligent dog. Very good girl. Very sweet. And again, just is one of those sad situations of being an older dog that now is homeless and just doesn't. We always hate it. We don't ever want to think that they're going to be living their final days out in our shelter. We always want to get them home where they can at least have somebody to love and take care of them. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be 5 more years. We don't know. That's the whole thing. You don't know how long they're going to live. But
so again, our seniors are going to get the gift for life.
Yeah.
Out of year's supply. That's going to be a life changer. So hey, let's talk about cats.
Well, Sandy there, you can see a beautiful little tortie. And the cats, sometimes people don't always think about it because usually a lot of people, you tend to the cats adopt you. They just show up at your home and hang around, and you think, okay, well, fine, we'll keep you.
Right.
And so you don't always think about going and looking for cats, but we get a lot of cats every year that need new homes, different breeds. everything from Maine Coons to Sphinx to Siamese.
Sphinx, really?
Oh yes. I had a Sphinx myself that came from my shelter. That she lived with me for many years before she passed away. So we get them. It doesn't matter what breed you're looking for. Animal shelters are going to find it, and you can find it online. If it's not in our shelter, there may be some other shelter in the area that has it.
And what hours are you open at the shelter?
We're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So we try to make our hours as extended as possible so that people, it doesn't matter when you work, we'll have the opportunity for you to come into the shelter and see what we have available for adoption.
So if you want to be a volunteer, or if you definitely want to adopt, head up to the shelter and you can see Jamey there or the rest of the staff, and they're going to help you out. But I absolutely love the shelter, and I love the information that you gave me. And thank you for, talking about zootering or vasectomies or other options that we have, because it's just not about spaying and neutering. And we do have to worry about the hormonal support for a longer, healthier pet. Overpopulation, we're spaying and neutering. We understand that. In some cases, we need to do that. But we still need to educate for doing that. So listen, everyone, we're about out of time here. So here's the bottom line. Let's adopt today. Go up and see Jamey at the animal shelter. Man's best friend with Jamey over here. We're going to be doing all kinds of, Max and I are going to start to train there again also. And if you adopt, we're going to have this information coming online very soon. So if you go to Facebook to Your Pets Radio, we'll be putting information up there about the dog training that you get when you adopt. Also for the senior pet, the gift for life, how you're going to get a year's supply that'll also be there for you. So we've covered a whole lot of information, and we're going to keep coming back and talking about adopting and the shelters and the dog training and stuff like that. So Jamey, thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And I'll
Thanks
see you
for
at Man's
having me.
Best Friends with Max, and we're going to be there. And we've got some other things coming up. Hopefully we'll do some adoption with your center there, because you said that you had the truck that you take out.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely want the gift for life there. I want to be there with Your Pets Radio, and we definitely want Man's Best Friend there to talk about training also. So we've spoken about a lot. Jamey, thanks for coming in today and
Thank
talking
you for
about
having
this.
me.
We have started something. We start talking to other heads of other shelters, and let's talk about the truth and what we can do to help these pets with their health and their longevity, and what is the true option that we can start doing here. So this is Lauriston Crockett with Your Pets Radio. I love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching Your Pets Radio. Visit yourpetsradio.com for more content. And remember, reach out to us on social media. We'd love to feature you on the show.